my fellow bucket fillers. It's Denise LaRosa once again on Bucket Filling Fun. So, something that I'm doing along this journey is, the obvious from what you see on my blog. The wonderful bucket filling activities that I'm doing in my classroom, also trying to spread that bucket filling in other classrooms and collaborating and really taking action and doing action research. But something that's very important whenever a teacher involves themselves in action research is to really read up and research and read some literature that's been put out there regarding that topic. And one of the things that I've been doing is trying to tie in the bucket filling with some of the various research articles that I've been able to gather to really focus in and see how the bucket filling really coincides with the ultimate goal, and that is to bring up students to become very socially competent, gain those social skills that will help them not only achieve in the classroom but outside the classroom as well. So the first article that I read and did a review on is titled Motivating Students to Behave in Socially Competent Ways. And that is, of course, the goal. And I'm going to read this article to you. Well, rather, I'm going to read the review that I did on the article. And I may pause here and there to just kind of explain further what my thinking was on that particular part of the article. Okay, here we go. An educator has many roles, and perhaps the most obvious role is to educate their students in various subject areas, such as reading, writing, math, and science. However, there is one role that is becoming more and more important as our culture evolves, and that is the role of promoting positive social behaviors. A teacher who says, I just want to teach, I don't want to have to deal with these behavior issues. Let me tell you, my friends, that is a person who is in the wrong profession. Like it or not, a teacher may be the only positive role model in a child's life. It is critical that educators both address and promote positive social goals in the classroom. Moving along. Catherine R. Winslow opens Motivating Students to Behave in Socially Competent Ways by stating the following. I absolutely love this quote. It sums it up. A caring classroom environment in which teachers and peers support and promote the expression of positive social behaviors appears to play a critical role in promoting students' adoption and pursuit of positive social goals. So, what is social competence? And what should be the educational goals for students to achieve social competence and display positive social behaviors? Winslow defines social competence in great detail and later maps out educational goals towards achieving socially competent students. According to Winslow, social competence is achieved whenever a student is able to simultaneously work on achieving the goals and objectives inherent in the demands of classroom life, while at the same time working to achieve their own personal goals. One can come to the conclusion that in order to both define and achieve social competence, there must be a clear identification and understanding of teachers' and students' goals. Some example of social competence in action are a student getting a good grade by studying hard as opposed to cheating. And also another example would be interacting positively with his or her peers. While intellectual goals should be prevalent throughout the classroom environment, social goals need to be just as much a part of the classroom environment as well. The federal government has already responded to this by setting federal mandates in place that promote social behavior in the form of moral character, conformity to social rules and norms, cooperation, and positive styles of social interaction. We want our students to maintain and celebrate their unique characteristics, and that's something I really want to stress to you. I'm not trying to create cookie-cutter students. So let me make that clear. However, we must also teach our students how to behave in socially competent ways and in a manner so that they may achieve their life goals and be productive citizens. The federal government is not only, and it's not the only entity, I should say, that sees this as a need for our students. In fact, a study conducted to identify parents' educational goals for their own children reported that social competence in the form of cooperation, respect for others, and positive interpersonal relationships was nominated by almost all of the parents as a critical outcome for students to achieve over and above even academic accomplishment. Teachers expressed similar concerns for their students in another study, stating that socially integrative characteristics such as sharing, helping others, and being responsive to others, and motivational qualities were equally important to getting good grades and completing assignments. It is clear that parents and teachers share the same concerns and goals for our youth, but what do our students think? And I need to pause and say, in the midst of anything that you're doing in regards to education, you gotta ask the students. I can't stand it whenever we're constantly doing this research and we're asking the experts and we're going on and on and on and on, and we forget the people that we are actually working for and trying to help, and that's the students. Ask the students. They're very smart, and they know what they want more than anyone else. So, I digress. What are the students' goals? Well, interestingly enough, students have similar social goals for themselves as well. Most students want to be socially responsible, but not necessarily all students feel this way. In contrast, according to Wenzel, the lowest achieving students tend to report frequent pursuit of other types of social goals, such as to have fun and to make and keep friendships, and a general unwillingness to conform to the social and normative standards of the classroom. In other words, these students who choose to pursue positive social behaviors achieve intellectually as well. The lower achieving students, they want to be the social butterflies, but they aren't necessarily setting clear social goals to help them achieve to be socially competent. So, there is clearly a parallel between student, social, and intellectual goals. So I'm going to pause with this. I'm going to stop right here and make this a two-parter because Wenzel goes on to touch on something that really touched a nerve with me, and I think that's going to take a whole other video load, so I won't go into that in one clump. But I do think that out of this section of my review that some key things is social competence is a goal that teachers, parents, and students have for students. We're all on the same page with that. That's a very positive thing. Another thing we're seeing here in this part of the article, or the review of the article, is that there's a direct parallel between students being high achieving or reaching success in the classroom and to having very clear stated and positive social goals towards positive social behaviors, as opposed to the lower achieving students whose social goals are a little misplaced, if you will. So I think those are very key things, and we will, touch on that a little bit more as I read the article, the rest of the review. I keep calling it an article. Who knows? Maybe that's a sign. Someday I may write my own article that will be published. So, anywho, I hope you got that out of the review. I certainly got that out of the article, and I hope that you'll be able to keep all those things in mind when addressing the social competence of your students. So that's it for now. I will be back in just a little bit with the rest of the review.